Well, hello, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic day. We are testing out a new camera and new microphone setup here. I'd love to know how it's working for you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the new camera and microphone setup. And hopefully we can all hear each other and work together. So leave me a comment. Let me know. Ronnie, Tim, Jared, Chris, Mike, Tim also. Good to have you all here. It says it's good. Great. Happy to hear that's working out. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday. A lot has happened in the world of cord cutting. Max officially launched yesterday. Mysteriously, Comcast decided that was a great day to launch a $20 streaming package. If you are a Comcast internet customer, you can now get a TV package for $20 with like 40 channels and more with it. Be interesting. There's a lot of other news happening. Just posted Sling TV added a bunch of new channels and more. Yeah, so this is a new Canon webcam. It's actually a Canon DSLR I've used to shoot some of the new cord cutting todays and more. That also has the new Canon as a webcam software. You just plug it in through USB. I don't need the little HDMI converter and more with it. So hopefully this looks a whole lot better than my old Logitech webcam we had been using, or even the older DSLR I was using before this. Tina, hello. Good to have you from Brooklyn here. G Money, NYC, James, Osmond, Clem, Maryland. It's good to have you all here. All right. So, question for everybody. Who has the new Mac service? How do you like it? What do you think of it? Thumbs up, thumbs down, indifferent. Can't really tell a big difference in this versus the older version. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of it. Robert and everybody, leave me a comment. Let me know. And then if you have a question, I'll leave them down here. That is very true. The CW is changing a lot. So they are definitely under new ownership, with Nexstar being the new owners of CW. And they definitely are shifting it from more of a youth-oriented content to, let's say, a more sports-oriented. And some of that, I believe, is reflecting the fact that people are just, younger people aren't watching it like they used to. So they're trying to jerry-rig it all. A lot of people are saying they like it. Brent wants to know where the Turner Classic Movies is. Yeah, there's still, I think there are a good amount of classic movies, but Turner Classic Movies, that channel experience, not all that stuff's there. Ron, you are right. The Max launch did have some glitches. I think YouTube TV customers who subscribe to HBO Max through YouTube TV are struggling to log in on the new Max app. That seems to be working, or being a process that they are working on it. All right, here's the big news that came out earlier this week. Wall Street Journal reported that something that we've talked about in the past, that Disney has talked repeatedly, that when the time is right, they said, ESPN will go direct to consumers. Well, the Wall Street Journal reported that Disney's not just talking about it, they have an active project called Operation Flagship within ESPN to create a standalone streaming service for ESPN to allow you to subscribe to it directly through ESPN and Disney without the need for a cable TV subscription. And he asked, isn't that bad news for live TV streaming services like YouTube TV and Hulu Live? Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely will negatively impact them. But Forbes has reported that their sources say that Disney intends to keep ESPN on cable and live TV services. So it's not like they're going to just flip a switch and turn off the ESPN access to like YouTube TV. Instead, much like how RSNs have done it, where RSNs offer a streaming version and they offer it through a traditional cable TV provider, they want to offer both options. Yeah, definitely a lot of issues with the transition. They have fixed most of the issues, but there definitely are a lot of issues still with it. So leave me a comment. Let me know what everybody think of the new webcam. How is the audio sound? How's that all working? Leave me a comment. Let me know. All right, so here's a prediction from I believe Andrews from the Sports Business Journal. Am I remember that right? NYC. He believes it will launch in 2025, 2026. Makes sense. NBA renewals are next year. Yeah, it would not surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if they move it up as soon as next year. But right now we're guessing, right? This is all guessing with this. We'll see how it works out. A lot of predictions. I will agree there that Eric, that the $20 to $30 price point is probably where we're going to see this bundle. And it would not surprise me to find it much like how ESPN or Comcast's new $20 live TV bundle includes Peacock. The ESPN Plus will be bundled in there. So let's say $25, you get maybe $30, you get ESPN Plus and ESPN channels. But you think about ESPN Plus is now like $10. So $20 for all the ESPN channels. We'll see. What new webcam I'm using? I'm using a Canon EOS DSLR. It's got the software that allows you to plug it in through USB to become a webcam. Yeah, definitely a much better picture here than my old Logitech webcam. All right. You know, I would contact the local station for comment or contact comment directly about any carriage changes in there. You know, it would not surprise me in 5 to 10 years that most cable networks, including the CW, are just not around anymore. I think one of the reasons why Warner Brothers Discovery sold the CW is they just didn't see a long-term path for it. Does Max have the full Discovery Plus catalog or just most of it? I think it's at least most of it. I don't have a full data on that. Brent, just to be clear, this is not a webcam technically. It's a DSLR camera that includes the ability here to also have your webcam with it. All right. If you have a question, leave me a comment. Let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. So will Showtime no longer be available on satellite? I believe it's a huge win for streaming. Now, I don't believe so. Paramount Plus at the end of next month will be adding Showtime content. They are raising the price between $1 and $2 a month to offset that. I don't think that's going to translate them into just saying, hey, live TV services aren't going to get Showtime anymore. I think much like, RSNs and what I talked about with ESPN, I suspect that they'll continue to offer that through cable networks also and satellite providers and everybody. Joel, it would not surprise me if in 5 to 10 years, cable TV as we know it is dead and gone. We'll have to wait and see, though. Valley Sports bankruptcy hearings next week. Yes. This one, though, is primarily about how much they'll have to pay Major League Baseball. There's a lot more to it, but I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of information past maybe what they have to pay and some other things with it. This may not be an earth-shattering hearing, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Here's another big story I forgot to mention. There's so many big stories this week. Netflix is starting to roll out their password sharing crackdown in the United States. They're starting to use IP tracking to say, hey, you have your home base here. This is your home location. And tons of people, home, household, wherever, you got people using Netflix outside of that, right? There's somebody every day logging into your Netflix account in a different state, a different house, wherever it may be. And if that's the case, if they want to continue accessing it, they're going to have to pay an additional $7.99. Cheaper than buying their own plan, but definitely adds up over time. So we'll see how it works out. They've said in other countries where they've already done this, like Canada and more, you see an initial drop in subscribers as people upset with it cancel. But then they see that the people who are signed up for new accounts or are paying the $7.99 more than offsets any losses they may have experienced through this plan. We'll see if it works out here in the United States. All right, how many people are going to cancel Max? We'll see. I mean, the price has not changed other than the fact that technically the 4K in 6 months, if you already had it, and new for right now for new customers is going up to $19.99. but you can still get the $15.99 HD plan. I think most people are not going to be canceling the plan. We'll see what happens. Are there any places in the United States that still can't get cable, internet, or even OTA services? There are definitely places without cable TV. There are definitely places that don't get over-the-air television. When I cut the cord, I lived in a valley quite far from the transmitters, and I did not get any over-the-air signal. And I tried roof antennas, all kinds of stuff, did not get any over-the-air television. But internet now is very hard to say you don't get it, because with things like SpaceX and other internet options that are wireless and more, and you got Amazon's one coming, there is more and more content coming every day, or more and more options for wireless high-speed internet every day. Evan, is this happening tonight? I can't remember. When is ABC announcing their new schedule? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I can't remember if it's tonight or tomorrow. Will Fox Sports go streaming only? I doubt they'll go streaming only, but will they maybe follow ESPN's footsteps and start offering a streaming version of Fox FS1, etc., for a price? Probably. Oh, sorry. Apparently flies are all over the place here today. Let me, there we go. My camera was focusing on different things. I'm still learning this camera. Things are changing. I gotta get used to this camera. Have I ever tried FTA satellite? Are you thinking about like SpaceX's satellite internet? I'm not quite sure I fully understand the question. Next Gen TVs, will Next Gen TV come to Philadelphia and New York? Yes, it is rolling out in those markets. I don't have a date, but yeah, they intend to have it nationwide, all the stations to be updated soon. Any rough figure how much Netflix catalog you could lose with the ad-supported version? It's like 3%. It's very, very small percentage of Netflix catalog category. Free over-the-air TV. You know, not in a very long time. I do have a friend when I was a kid that had one of those big old satellite dishes back in the 80s and 90s. So I'm very familiar with it, but no, I've never actually owned it myself. One of the disadvantages of the Q&A based stuff is other folks keep messaging me, so it's a hard I do understand that. I do appreciate everybody coming an hour earlier, though. It just works out so much better for me to be able to do this and then go put the kids to bed and not have it 9 p.m. because I start work every day at 7 a.m. So not going to 9 p.m. is nice. I always feel like if the CW wanted variety, they should brought in a kids WB lineup or something like that. So the funny thing about that is increasingly kids aren't watching TV. I saw several reports that Cartoon Network, the Disney Channel, and more are actually majority 18 and older most of the day now. And that's why we see Adult Swim last week announce that they are moving they just moved it up to 7 p.m. this fall, I think in November, September, something like that, somewhere in that range. They're going to move it up to 6 p.m. So Adult Swim is going to start at 6 p.m. and American Dad will help fill that. So it's very interesting to see what happens there. That as time progresses, fewer and fewer kids are watching. How much longer we see Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and more survive? The Disney Channel in most of Europe, Australia, and other countries has actually shut down, and they're just directing people over to Disney Plus. Will we see that in the United States? Would not surprise me at all in the next few years if that happens. Any good software and turrets to play on? No, nope, not that I know of. The How Man, can you tell me what you mean by the channels coming to Peacock? Give me a little bit more information. I'll try to answer the question. All right. The internet is expensive. There is no competition. Now, I would argue that there's growing competition in most areas. For one, you got SpaceX, but more importantly, T-Mobile, Verizon, and even AT&T in markets where they don't have fiber is going to be rolling out a fixed wireless home internet service, basically 5G home internet. And that's definitely putting pressure on traditional cable TV internet providers. We saw T-Mobile in the first quarter add more internet customers than Verizon, Comcast, Spectrum, AT&T did combined in the fourth quarter of 2023. So competition's coming and more is on the way. But for now, you are right. If there are not competition, it's rough. But increasingly, I mean, Verizon's at $25, T-Mobile's at $50, and there's other options coming here. Brother John, don't worry, you're here, and that's all that matters. All right, here's a great question. What do you think the writer's strike will do to streaming services? Honestly, I would rather be a streaming service than a cable TV network right now with the writer's strike because there's such a huge backlog of content and that many streaming services have deals in place with foreign movies and or television providers out there to get access to content from outside the United States, basically. This is going to make it possible for them to be able to, I think, better weather the strike. We're already seeing talk of more reality programming, more reruns, and I think ABC's executive even talked about the prospect of bringing Disney Plus content to ABC to help fill out the gap there. We'll see what happens. Oh, the Howman. All right, Howman, this is actually not Peacock adding channels. If you read the post that you're referencing, Comcast announced a new live TV streaming service, $20 a month, called Now TV. It includes 40 channels, some free channels from their Xumo Play service, and a subscription to Peacock, all bundled together for $20. Now, these are not sports channels. They're not like MSNBC. That's not included, I believe, in MSNBC. It's not. NBC News Live, the free streaming one is, and you get a Peacock subscription to that. But no, it's not Peacock adding channels. It's called Now TV. You have to have a Comcast internet subscription to be able to subscribe to that. So just keep that in mind. All right. Nickelodeon Disney Afternoon. Oh, man, the Disney Afternoon Tailspin. DuckTales, all that. What a great time that unfortunately Fox killed and Disney killed. Fox Kids, Kids WB, Cartoon Network. Yeah, 90s TVs was amazing for kids. Problem is, I have a daughter who is 11 and she basically never watches cable TV. She could care less about it, to be honest with you. But what she does care about is YouTube, all that stuff. So really, it's just the reality of how everything's going. And because of everything's going that reality, it's why we don't see things like Disney, more kids programming on broadcast television in the afternoons anymore. I do feel Hollywood labor disputes will cause streamings to properly credit the yeah, very possible, NYC. I'll be honest with you. Right now, I think both sides are very far from a possible solution here. The Writers Guild of America is asking a lot. They want a lot of writers. They actually want to make it, for example, the creator of Babylon 5 wrote most of the seasons of Babylon 5. Under the new rules, he would not be allowed to solo write basically an entire season. They want a huge number of writers to be locked up for each television show and to pay them more. Of course, TV networks are like, well, we don't want to do that. So reality is somewhere in the middle. They need to come together. They need to find a middle ground. And if both sides are not willing to come to the middle, it's going to be very hard for a deal to be reached on this. Will artisans retain? Here's a quick question. Will artisans move to live TV streaming services like YouTube TV? I do not expect Bally Sports or any services to be bringing artisans back right now. If you are YouTube TV and you see everything happening with artisans, why would you enter into a contract with them? And let's be honest, a growing number of artisans offer a standalone streaming service. Artisans are some of the most expensive channels on TV. They're some of the least watched channels on TV. So keep that in mind. We're all right. First of all, huge thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Where would you rank Max as for streaming services to have today? Do you see Max becoming more successful in the future? I do think that Max has a very good lineup of content with it. It honestly is a nice service with a huge amount of content. I think the $19.99 price point is a bit much for 4K. I think most people don't care about 4K, to be honest with you. A lot of people don't even have a 4K TV. And honestly, it's kind of the reason why I think 8K is going to really struggle is I don't think most people really see a huge difference with 4K. HDR, they do to a point. I always say this. When the move from SD to HD was so dramatic, I always remember a college professor saying he was in a hotel room, saw HD, and was like, this is amazing. I don't think a lot of people are seeing 4K as like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I have to run out and get that. So I think they're going to struggle to sell at the $19.99 price point. But it's got such a huge catalog of content. It's one of the largest catalogs of content of any streaming service out there. But I think they're going to do pretty well for themselves, to be honest with you. I think they're going to be able to bring in a large number of subscribers. I think they're going to really be able to stand out against Peacock and Paramount Plus and more. In the long run, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how they all bring it together. Deborah, I believe you'll be able to do Netflix outside your home. It's the extended. It's the people who are always outside of the home. We'll see how that all works out with it. But yeah, it's definitely an issue there that they're going to have to address with that. Who has the most 4K content? That's a good question. I'm not certain of that, to be honest with you. 8K TVs are very expensive. And again, I think the biggest problem with them is that people are just not seeing a big enough difference here to justify the cost, to be honest with you. Why rush out and pay for it when you could just get 4K? And people think that already is hard to tell a difference from HD. Welcome back, Avalon. Avalon, I hope I said that right. I apologize. Do you think 30 down is enough to stream? Yeah, for one person, you only need 15 down to do a 4K stream on Netflix, 15 to 20 down to play anything on the service, 5 down per HD stream. So 30 down, in theory, could do, 6 HD streams there? So, or one 4K stream and an HD stream. So it's plenty. You really don't need a crazy fast internet. I often hear people cut the cord and get talked into for example, a huge gigabit internet connection. You just don't need that for cord cutting. You don't need that to stream. All right. I have a Verizon phone plan that has the free perk of Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. Will that go away if Disney purchases Hulu? No, that won't go away. But the new Verizon wireless plans do not include that perk. They do include some other perks there. You can buy credits for like $10, a discounted rate to get Disney bundles and different things. But as long as you maintain your current plan, you'll be able to continue to get that for the foreseeable future. If you switch plans, you will lose the Disney Plus bundle with Verizon. All right. All right. If you asked a question and I didn't happen to answer it, leave me a comment. Let me know. But while we wait here for more questions to come in, let me know, what's your Memorial Day plans? I'll probably try to go golfing. We're going to go to my aunt's, a big family get-together as we do every year, which is kind of nice because I only see my cousins a few times a year now. So it'll be nice to see all my cousins. So what are you doing for Memorial Day? Let me know. NYC, thank you for that $9.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. It's a huge help. I remember you said RSNs in big markets may not be fine in the long run. I agreed, since yes, ads aren't that great compared to Yankees game on Prime TV. Yeah, I really do believe that in the long run, RSNs are just a doomed business model. It's very clear that companies or sports networks are pulling back their rights. They want their rights to be on networks people can watch more. RSNs have become hard to watch, and they're pulling back the rights to it. We'll see how that all plays out. But I would not be wanting to invest in RSNs right now. There are services that do have RSNs. You are right, the How Man. DirecTV has some, Fubo has some, and more. All right. Has Netflix added any franchises like Harry Potter, or they did add a bunch of new content, but I don't know off the top of my head what they've added recently. A lot of people are saying they're going to do yard work, clean out the pool. Ron says a barbecue. Raymond, yes. The Warner Brothers Discovery has announced that they are planning to roll out fixes, and they've rolled out fixes for most of the glitches that occurred yesterday during launch day. All right. G-Money, here's a good way to spend a relaxing Memorial Day, doing it as little as possible. Can't blame you. One of the problems that everybody's facing is advertisers are pulling back across the board. There's definitely less people advertising today than there has been in the past. We'll definitely have to see how that all plays out. Why do companies make it so hard for consumers to watch sports? The problem is a lot of these sports are under old legacy contracts. They didn't envision a streaming world. Many arsons made bad bets. It's complicated. It's the fact that it's no one reason and no one really at fault. It's kind of a combination of a little bit of everything. Yeah, streaming services are, it's still cheaper than cable, but it's not necessarily as cheap as we all would want it. All right. Always love the Special Olympics on the Disney Channel. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the Disney Channel looks like in a few years. Very interesting. I would love to see exactly how political ads invest in the future. Are they going to go traditionally with for example, cable TV like they have, or are they going to invest more in YouTube and videos and Disney Plus and more with that? What do you see that will happen to cable companies in the future with cord cutting increase? I would not be surprised in 5 to 10 years that cable TV is just not here. It's just not what it used to be honest with you. Rusty, I did mention that earlier. Not sure if you were here the first time I talked about it, but yes, for the new $20 Now TV service from Comcast that offers 40 channels, a subscription to Peacock Premium, and some free channels, you do need to be a Comcast Internet customer. What do I think about the new Max service? It's HBO Max with some Discovery Plus content mixed in. Really, that's about it. New app seems nice. I know it's a little glitchy. They're fixing the glitches. It's a lot better now than it used to be. Is Verizon 5G home internet good? I know many people who have used it and have been very, very happy with it. So we'll have to. So overall, people seem to be pleased to be using it. Anybody here have Verizon or T-Mobile 5G home internet? Leave me a comment and let me know. Why do cable companies say that they will charge more for internet? Well, many do. It's on average $10 more a month for internet if you break it out as a standalone service than if you bundle it with it. It's basically like, hey, if you bundle more services, we give you a bigger discount. But in my mind, that's not a reason, right? If the cable TV package you have is 120 and YouTube TV is just 72, well, still paying the extra $10 for internet still saves you money. But you can also cut the cord and go with a traditional like Verizon 5G and get a much cheaper one. I'm using Verizon 5G internet. I know it's no difference than Spectrum. That's good to hear. I've heard a lot of people very, very happy with Verizon, T-Mobile, and more out there. New Disney channels. I would be shocked if Disney launched any new cable channels. I think they're going the other direction. I think they're getting away from cable channels. Yeah, they've been rolling out a lot of updates in the last 24 hours. There's been several incremental updates on Apple TV, Roku, and more with that. Verizon 5G home internet, 300 down, 20 up. That's a pretty good. That's more than enough to stream. That's definitely for sure. How can you find out what internet providers are available in your area? I don't really have a good website for that, to be honest with you. You kind of have to check it out. But the main wireless ones right now are Verizon, T-Mobile, SpaceX, of course, whatever internet DSL fiber provider may be in your area. I had T-Mobile home internet. It was excellent for me. Dropped it when I got APC and Comcast for $5 for 2 years. That's a pretty good deal if you can get it. Yeah, I fully would drop. I would take that deal too. QV, what about Samsung TVs? Do you want to know about Samsung TV Plus, about the quality of Samsung TVs? Leave me a comment. Let me know what exactly you want to know. I have Verizon 5G, a Wi-Fi, and it's hunky-dory. It's hunky-dory for 100% perfect for me. Core News. The best part is that power and help are more enjoyable. Oh, that's good. I'm happy to see you like it. I feel Disney's going to follow the new model for live content where it's on ABC Disney Plus simulcast. Could be. Would not be surprised at all if Disney uses Disney Plus content to fill ABC, as ABC is going to be struggling for content here soon. Would I pay for Apple TV Plus? Right now, no, because I'm so busy. But they definitely have a lot of good content. They still need a bigger catalog, I think, or drop the price. All right, T-Mobile Internet, 500 down, 15 up. Again, that's more than enough for streaming with that. Richard, thank you for that $5 super chat. It really does help. Do you have any info on telespecs? I can't find any on TV. Everything we know we reported. I don't have full details of it, but you can still sign up. Apparently, there's a lot of openings for that free TV. All right. Get those questions. If Hulu's so old, will it fold into Disney Plus? Now, one of the reasons I think Disney Plus and Hulu have not merged is because that means that Comcast would get a share of the Disney Plus subscription. So if Disney or Comcast completes that sale next year, per the contract, Disney follows through and buys the rest of Hulu next year, I can fully see them merging. We'll see. I'll be interested to see what they do. Do they just keep Hulu as a live TV streaming service? Do they just move all the content over? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this fall, they will be merging the apps into a single app. Hello, Luke. When I arrived home today, I noticed that the TCL TV had an update to Roku 12. I'm excited to see what the results are. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. Yeah, NYC would not surprise me if more Monday Night Raw and other wrestling does become more on Peacock. YouTube TV or Hulu TV for Family 7? Really no wrong answers. Both offer a free trial. I recommend giving both a try. See which one works for you. Both have slightly different channel lamps and more that I think would be, personal preference, to be honest with you. Which one is right for you? It kind of depends on what you want. What about Dish and DirecTV merging? Sure could happen. We have no new information. No one's really talking at all about it. I haven't heard anything about any updates on that recently, to be honest with you. But keep those comments coming. Let me know. Did you sign up for the tele? No, I did not sign up, but we are on their press list. Maybe I'll get a free review unit. I'll be honest, I don't need a TV. And here's the reality. I read a survey that most TVs are now lasting on average 10 years. And I think that is maybe even optimistic. I think TV, people rushed in the last 10 years to upgrade SD to HD or HD to 4K. And I think people have bought a lot of new TVs. So they're kind of at a point where they're just saying, hey, I have no interest in new TVs. So the problem is, if I get this TV, where would I mount it? Or where would I put it? For example, I don't need a TV right now. And I think that's why a lot of TV manufacturers are running into issues. If ABC buys Warner Brothers Discovery, I'll be honest with you, that's not going to happen. But and merge Peacock and Max, do you think it'll become the go-to service? If they were to merge, which is possible in one way, I'll talk about in a second. I do think it'll be a great catalog. Peacock is definitely struggling. It's way behind some of their competitors like Paramount Plus and now Max. Now, I don't think NBC can afford to buy Warner Bros. Discovery. I just don't think they have the money. I don't think they have the credit for that. Two, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO has come out and said they want to bundle Max with other streaming services. So it would not surprise me at all if they said, hey, there's a special reduced fee. They can come together and get that. So keep that in mind. That I wouldn't be surprised if they do offer a bundle deal. But as far as one buying the other, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, I meant to click on Robert. Robert says right now Hulu with Live TV does not have a free trial. I apologize. YouTube TV does. Hulu Live doesn't have a free trial at this time. They're always changing. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. YouTube TV briefly had a 3-week free trial. Now that's back down to, I believe, a week or 2 weeks. It varies all the time. I think it wasn't even that long ago that YouTube TV didn't even offer a free trial. Yellowstone canceled. Yes, Yellowstone's final season has been announced. There's going to be, I think, 2 more prequels coming. But yes, Yellowstone is coming to an end. There will be a free stream of Yellowstone's first 3 seasons on Pluto TV this weekend. So check that out. NYC says, I don't see Comcast and Warner Bros. Discovery merging with the DOJ. With this DOJ, if anything, I see a joint venture for streaming on Slack sports rights. You know, the problem right now is the fact that after AT&T successfully bought Time Warner, or after the DOJ attempted to stop it, it's going to be very hard to stop any mergers that want to happen. It just really is going to be difficult. RJ, thank you so much. A $20 super chat sticker there. Thank you. You know, every little bit really does help us support all of our families, the whole team here at Core Cars News. I really do appreciate it. Joel, yes, the finding, I think, nail in the coffin, as they say, for Yellowstone was Kevin Costner leaving Yellowstone, not wanting to renew his contract for another season past what he was already signed up for. But yeah, so definitely, you know, that just happens. Apparently, issues with the producers. All right. AMC Fear the Walking Dead returned recently. Yeah, a lot of content there coming out. And they're actually bringing some of the content to free streaming services. Hey, about 15 or so more minutes here. Get your questions in. But let me know, what are you doing this weekend? Anybody out there have big plans for this weekend? I'd love to hear from you. You know, the funny thing here is always, you know, people nostalgia here for cable TV, right? Everybody hated Blockbuster when Blockbuster went under. People threw parties. Now it's nostalgic. Now people miss Blockbuster. It's kind of funny how that happens, how that there's definitely, you know, a nostalgia clouds our memories maybe a little bit when it came to Blockbuster. But there is something about it. We'll see what happens. Here's a big plan this weekend. I'm going grocery shopping. So funny story. We use Walmart Plus. This is brought up. So off topic. Let's have story time with Luke. About a month and a half ago, my work computer at the office, which is actually a work computer I had back before I sold Core Cars News, and I took it with me when after we sold. I still have all the equipment from the old office. When I moved into the new offices here, we rented in Michigan. I brought my computer there. I came into the office about middle of April, and suddenly my computer was just dead. It wouldn't boot up, wouldn't work, nothing would work. So I ended up coming home, work from home. I went to Walmart.com and tried to buy a computer. It wasn't the most expensive, but it was a nice computer. I'm sitting behind 3 monitors. I need a computer that could do native 3 monitors. I want a computer that can do good video editing and processing of videos fast, so I'm not waiting all day for that. Well, I tried to buy it at Walmart. My bank said, you get that text, possible unauthorized activity. Would you approve of this sale? So I approved it, went back, tried to buy again on Walmart's website. Walmart said, hey, we think your account's been compromised. No one buys a computer through our Walmart Plus service from you. Please change your password. So I did again, purchase again, and Walmart canceled my order again. So I said, forget it. Went to Best Buy, bought a computer at Best Buy. Wasn't exactly what I wanted. Walmart was a slightly better deal, a little different specs, but Best Buy had a computer that was similar at a similar price point. Well, last week I placed an order for Walmart.com through my Walmart Plus subscription, and I got an email from them. Your order's been canceled. Your account's been terminated for return policy violations. Basically, I returned too many products, I guess. But I don't return anything. The lady said I returned less than $100 worth of stuff in the last year, except for those order cancellations that were caused by Walmart canceling my order. Took them almost 2 weeks to finally unban my account from Walmart Plus. Everybody I talked to be like, oh yeah, clearly a mistake here. Clearly our computer has mistakenly identified those purchases as you returning stuff when you did not return it. It just canceled your order and never was delivered to you. Yeah. So with that, they finally yesterday unbanned my account. Took 2 weeks though for them to realize their mistake. I'm sure it's an AI system that just looks at it, but yeah, it was pretty annoying. So there's story time. There was my drama. I had about 30 emails with that, back and forth with Walmart and phone calls, and they called me and I called them and all kinds of stuff. How much does Starlink home internet cost? Depends where you live. If you're in a market that's not oversaturated with users, it's $90. It can be $110 depending where you live, which may seem like a lot of money, but if you live in rural America, and that's much better options than many people out there. I was watching a video about Alaskan villages, and Alaskan villages now have Starlink internet. For the first time ever, they have high-speed internet. Very first time ever for a lot of places bringing Starlink. So $90 a month to $110 may seem like much, but it's really not. Yes, Showtime standalone streaming service will be discontinued at the end of next month when Showtime is merged in with Paramount Plus on like June 27th or so. But yes, Showtime is going away. Paramount Plus is the new home for Showtime content. Is it true that you can watch live sports for free, or is that actually going to be cracked down on? That's being cracked down on very harshly. No, if you're not paying for services, you're going to get cracked down. Now, you can buy an antenna and watch your locals, ABC, NBC, Fox in most areas, for example, free, and watch the sports there for free through an antenna. But yeah, those streaming services that promise free ESPN are not legal, and they are being shut down. It's a little bit of a game of whack-a-mole, but have noticed it's starting to move in favor of the content owners recently. All right, so about 10 more minutes here. I got some family in town. I'm going to get back out there to them. So get your questions in. If you asked a question, I did not answer it, re-ask it. I'll do my best to answer it. It's great to have everybody here. Over 220,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. I can't believe it. We've added almost 30,000 subscribers in the last few months. I really appreciate your support. Is cable box and DVR costs? Yeah, definitely all the hidden fees in cable TV definitely adds up. Definitely a big part of why I think people are canceling it, the service. Do I know if Comcast Now TV will have a DVR option? Good question. I've been trying to figure that out, and they haven't really said. We may have to wait until it gets closer to launch. I may try to subscribe for a month. There's no contract, so I may pick up for a month to do a full review of it. Do you think eventually there will be just a few streaming services? I think there will be fewer streaming services than there are today in the future. There are hundreds of streaming services. Will all of them make it? Probably not. Do I think we'll whittle down to 10 or less? No. I think there will always be 100 or so streaming services. It's so easy to have a streaming service. There are so many niche markets served by streaming that cable never would. Like anime fans now have a ton of options for it. So many options out there that it does not surprise me that we're seeing fewer options in the future just by attrition. There are more streaming services than there are people to support them all. Where do I see streaming in the next 5 years? I think there will be a consolidation. I do think some services will merge, like we're seeing with Showtime and Paramount Plus. I do think some streaming services will shut down and more. We'll see how it all plays out, but they definitely see a future where fewer and fewer services are out there. Now, will that result in a collapse of the streaming markets? Absolutely not. I don't believe that for a minute. I do believe, though, that we will see a continued consolidation in the market as we go forward with things like Showtime and Paramount Plus merging together. Nope. Dean, what local cable company is that? Can you give me a name? I'd love to look into their new streaming service and doing away with their digital TV. Dean, do me a favor. Leave me the name of that company. I'll love to look into that. I heard AEW is coming to Max. I have not heard that. I will look into that. I agree with you, NYC. It would not surprise me at all that Hulu merges with Disney Plus. I think the thing that's saving it for now is the fact that would mean that Comcast would have to get a piece of Disney Plus. Luke, after having the on Google streaming device, how is it testing against Roku? I do think it's a little bit more laggy than Roku. But overall, it's just fine. Really. So it may take a second longer to load a video than Roku or Apple TV. I think for most people, they won't even notice. Why did Netflix get rid of DVDs? In short, they were losing money. Very few people were doing it. It was a huge drain on their money. They dropped it because it wasn't profitable. What shows would like to see come back? A reboot of Babylon 5. It's in the works. It's currently on hold. Originally, it was talking about coming to the CW. I would love to see that come to HBO Max. All right, let me make a quick note of that, Dean. Thank you so much for saying that. Alliance Communications shutting down TV, launching streaming. That's in my list of to do. Let me put one more while I was thinking of it. So I just made a few notes there. I have that in my list to do some digging. Hey, Dean, thank you for the tip. As always, for everybody here, if you ever have any breaking news or anything you find, leave us a comment, but go to corecardsnews.com, click on the contact us, send us an email. A lot of our best stories come from readers like you leaving us tips, and they really are a huge help. I really do appreciate it all. What if your only subscription to Hulu and not Disney Plus? Well, if Hulu shuts down, you're going to have to pick up Disney Plus, Chris, Wayne, whoever. Chad, there we go. Alliance Communications is only a regional owner-operator co-op. Yeah, a lot of the smaller services are shutting down, and increasingly, we're even seeing some top 10 cable TV providers in the United States shut down their services. Do I remember watching The Lion King in 1994? No, I did not watch that one, actually. If Paramount price goes up, I had limited commercials $5.99 where CPS. Yeah, we will see a $1 to $2 price hike on Paramount Plus plans. $1 for the ad supported, $2 for the ad free when Showtime content's added later on in the end of June. Frank, thank you so much for the kind words. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I know we only went about 15 minutes today. I have family in town. They're staying with us for the holiday weekend. I'm going to go see them. I'm going to help put the kids to bed, maybe even water the flowers. It's been a long work day since starting at 7 a.m. today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Don't forget, we have a video going live tomorrow on the channel. I have a special video for this weekend. I will not have a Core Gun today on Memorial Day, but I'll be back for a Core Gun today on Tuesday. Monday will be the only day I miss. I'll see you Friday too. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and more. Am I going to do a review of Max? Yes, I will have a full breakdown review of Max on the YouTube channel here in the next week or so. Kind of wanted to give it a chance for me to play with it for a few days first before I did a full review. All right, everybody, have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic night. I'll see you tomorrow here. I even have a special video for this weekend. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all real soon. And thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. Until next time,